Well, hi, and welcome to the $1 Million Message. This is future executive senior sales director Jordan Eicher calling in with your Wednesday wisdom from the great state of North Carolina. Well, I hated to record over Amber's Tuesday message from yesterday. Do you call in to this $1 Million Message daily? If you don't, oh my goodness, let me encourage you to start calling in every single day, because the women on this hotline are world-class business leaders and coaches and trainers. And guess what? Their advice, it's free. All it costs you is your time. And usually we don't even ask for much of that. So something that Amber said yesterday that just gripped me was in the very beginning of her consistency article. She said, whatever you practice is what gets stronger. It's the habit you create. It's what becomes permanent. It's not that practice makes perfect. It's that practice makes permanent. And so if you're practicing the habit of consistently not holding parties, you're going to get better and better at not holding parties. If you're practicing your shyness, you're going to consistently continue to be shy. Whatever it might be, whatever you're practicing is growing. And you know, I want to take it even a step further and talk about today the fact that whatever you're thinking, your thought habits, your thought patterns also become permanent. And in fact, they create permanent, deep, crevice wrinkles and patterns in your brain that it becomes really, really hard to change. And I would love to give credit where credit is due on this thought habit that I'm about to share with you, but I can't remember where I originally got this thought that I'm about to share with you, but I have come back to this over my 16-year career with Mary Kay more times than I can count. I have shared this with pretty much every consultant who ever took a career path with Mary Kay that has come through my unit. I have shared this with every consultant who was on the verge of becoming a sales director and trying to decide whether or not Mary Kay was going to become a bigger part of her life and her career life. I have shared this with adopted consultants, with directors. I've shared this on hotlines before. I've shared this at New Director Education in Dallas with all of the new sales directors that debuted in a 3 to 6 month time period from the company. Like when I say I've shared this, I have shared this so many places in so many ways because it is a thought habit and a thought pattern that many, many people have had for their entire lives. And when it comes to our business, it's a thought pattern that is not healthy, and it's something that needs to change. And so let me read to you the thought pattern and see if you don't identify with the words, the sentiments, the attitudes, and the maybe predisposition of this thought pattern. This woman says, throughout my career, I've seen many Mary Kay consultants come and go because they felt they needed to find, quote, a real job, end quote. Why do people think that Mary Kay is not a, quote, real job? What classifies an opportunity as a real job? Does getting a paycheck with the same number of dollars each pay period classify a real job? Does working 10 to 40 to 60 hours and still making that same amount of money classify it as a real job? How about getting up very early, taking a shower, getting ready, and leaving your house every day? What about putting your kids in daycare? Does that make it a real job? How about having to schedule vacation time a year in advance? Or having to explain to your supervisor why you need a day off? Maybe that's what makes it a real job. Maybe you need to be working for someone else to make it a real job, having to report to someone else, and let him or her decide when you deserve a raise. Let's pretend for a moment. What if we apply real job guidelines to your Mary Kay business? Just imagine if you devote 20 hours a week of complete and total focus to doing your Mary Kay job well. What if you set your own goal and always did today's work today instead of waiting until you felt like it? Imagine the possibilities if you paid attention to the profitability of your Mary Kay business and actually took the steps necessary to promote yourself. You owe it to yourself to make Mary Kay a real job, even if it's just part-time. Why would you give more time and commitment to someone else's business than you would for your own? Do you really want to work for someone else forever? Wouldn't you prefer to work 20 hours but get paid like you worked 40 hours? Would you like to be your own boss? Would you like to plan your own hours each week to work within your family's schedule? What if you could take an extra day off one week and then work an extra 2 hours each day for the next week to make up for it? Do you have this type of freedom with your, quote, real job? If you feel like you've tried Mary Kay and it hasn't worked for you very well, try asking yourself a few questions. If someone with my Mary Kay work habits worked for me, would I continue to pay them or reward them? Am I consistent, Amber's message yesterday, in my efforts? Do I make the calls when I need to make them? Do I send the texts when I need to send them, no matter what? Do I place orders in a timely manner to keep my store stocked with the hottest, most up-to-date products? Do I give golden rule customer service, going over and above what my client expects? Do I follow up on all leads and potential recruits quickly and professionally? Do I work with my leader on accountability and turn in my weekly accomplishment sheets for every month? Do I attend training, events in my area, and Mary Kay conferences? If you have answered any of these questions with a no, perhaps this is an opportunity for growth, to change your ways and make new goals for your business this week. Make it a point to treat your Mary Kay business like a real job. You will earn real money, real cars, real prizes, and see real changes in your life. You want to make a real difference in the lives of others, in the lives of women? I believe you can. With a Mary Kay career, what you make it is to you. Okay, that is the end of this amazing new thought pattern. Did it unwrinkle a little bit, a permanent wrinkle in your brain about maybe something you've always thought or something you've always been told about what a real job looks like? The reason I'm asking you today to create a new thought pattern and to not continue to feed and allow the old thought pattern to exist is because after having returned from the top sales director trip to Hawaii, the biggest thought I came away with was I am so glad that I treated Mary Kay like a real job from the minute that I started, and that became my permanent habit, that became my permanent thought pattern, that this was a real job and nobody and nothing could tell me that it wasn't. And over the last 16 years in my career with Mary Kay, it has certainly paid me like a real job. I have gotten rewarded more, I feel, than anybody with a real job. I have been, my life has been changed more than a real job. My ability to influence and impact and change the lives of other women has certainly exceeded expectations of a real job. And all I can say is it's because I believed that it could be a real job, that it is a real job and career for me today, 16 years later. So no matter how long you've been in Mary Kay, you can today unwrinkle your brain and create a new habit and a new thought pattern and begin treating this like a real job so that you can begin reaping the rewards of it like a real job. And I hope you heard the author say, it doesn't matter if this is part-time. It doesn't matter if you have 7 hours a week to contribute to your Mary Kay future and your Mary Kay career. If you want this to eventually be your, quote, real job, and you want to walk into your current real job and put in your resignation, and you don't ever want to walk back into that desk again, and you don't ever want to see that coworker again, and you don't ever want to have to get up and drop your baby off at daycare again, then take those 7 hours a week and treat it as if you had a supervisor, as if you were showing up to get a paycheck, as if you were playing to win for a title, playing to win for a real job, so that you had security, because I promise you, Mary Kay will exceed all of your real job expectations and more and more and more, and give you real relationships to encourage you and help you along every step of the way if you just don't quit. And I can promise you that, because I always say the higher you go in Mary Kay, the better the view. It's just like climbing a mountain or watching the sunset. In Hawaii, I had the opportunity to watch 1 million beautiful pink and blue sunsets from a tropical paradise balcony. And the sunset, as soon as the sun would start setting, I'd get out my phone and I would just start videotaping it because it was so beautiful. And then I would try to put my phone down so I could just enjoy it like a human and not a robot and be in the moment. And then 4 minutes later, I had to pick my phone back up again because the sky had changed so much. The view just got so much better. The colors got so much more vibrant. And the clouds just became so much more illuminated, and the water became a different color. And then I would get my phone back out and take a picture real quick, and then I'd put it back down, and I would try to just be in the moment. And then 10 minutes later, I looked up, and it was like the sky is on fire. And it just kept getting better and more beautiful until the sun disappeared. Just every few minutes, it just kept changing. And over time, that is exactly what happens with your Mary Kay business when you treat it like a real job. You get a taste of it, and it's so amazing. But then the longer you stay, the richer the colors, the deeper the view, the more beautiful the picture becomes, and it feels like a whole different experience. And I want that for you. And the best thing is you get to take other people with you to see their own beautiful dreams come true. So today, make today the first day you treat this like a real job, whether you have 4 hours25 hours to give it in this week. It doesn't matter. Treat it like a real job, because, oh my goodness, girl, I promise you, you should be working for yourself. If you're on this hotline, God put you in a unit. He put you in this company. He gave you a dream in your heart. And today is the day that you start acting on it in your fullest potential. And I believe that you are the girl for this real job. God bless you, and I'll be back with you again next Wednesday. Bye-bye.